Jesus is pretty cool. I like Jesus, but not his church. They told me that because I love Ozzy and Metallica, I worship the devil. How are we gonna reach these people? They're not gonna come into church. We gotta do something different. Yeah, that's part of my story as well. And that's what this next video is about. I'm continuing on in my journey. I took you through like the different false churches that I was in, whether it was from in the Vineyard movement and then also that one before that. Go back and check out those videos. It's just part of my journey. I'm sharing my story, and the journey continues where we would move from the Vineyard into like the organic church movement. It was like vintage Christianity, Emerging Church. This is not a personal attack like on individual people, how they are as people. It's all about the teaching because they were wonderful people. But again, it's the teaching. So if you watched my first video when we had come out of that really bad false church that was like New Apostolic Reformation, during that time, we really started to think differently about like, how could we do church differently? And, if we're hurt and we're experiencing all these hard things, we're turned off. What about the world out there? So there's really two things going on. There was like people in the church didn't like what they were seeing and getting bored or whatever. And then like with an institutionalized, but again, what was presented to us was a false Jesus and a false church. And then we would, also look outside, outside of our little Christian bubble or whatever. And, think about those people out there who would be turned off to the same things we were getting turned off to. So that really bothered us as well. And then we started thinking about, wow, I wonder if we could do church differently. And that never left us the whole time that we were in the Vineyard. And I even had shared that we were being trained by the Vineyard as church planters. But then, that was the people in the Northeast, the Vineyard guys in the Northeast. When we moved to the Southeast, those Vineyard guys were like, no, this is not a Vineyard church. So anyway, we wound up leaving the Vineyard, the local Vineyard that we were, a part of, and they really weren't happy, but they sent us out and everything, and then we started a home church, and that's what I'm going to talk about in my next video. We really started questioning things of like how we can reach people outside of the church, and we were turned off to Christians, we were turned off to, we loved Jesus, but we really weren't, liking his church.